Hey everyone, my name's Chris. Welcome back to the Creative Tavern. Today is Sunday, May 29, 2022. Again, my name's Christopher Lee. I am a concept artist. I've been in the creative design industry for about 10 years now. I worked with various companies such as Walt Disney Imagineering and Universal Creative. And I'm here today with my good pal, buddy Michael.
Hello, everyone. My name is Michael Welker. I'm a creative professional, a writer, and semi-retired theme park producer, where I worked with Chris, both at Walt Disney Imagineering and Universal Creative, most recently on Super Nintendo World in Osaka, Japan. Since finishing on that project, Chris and I had some extra time on our hands and decided we were going to put our heads together and work on a project of our own making. It was a long, winding road, but eventually got to a point where we said, hey, let's learn how to make a video game. Neither of us have ever done it before, but that would be really cool. And not only that, let's make it publicly. Let's stream our design sessions on Twitch and get the community involved and see what happens. And that's the show you're watching right now. So welcome. It's great to have you.
Yeah, so good to have you here, guys. And before we dive into the recap, Michael, I want to just say hello to all the our amazing supporters and people who view us, the chat family. And Michael, what do you call people who visits, taverns? Tavernites or like patrons? Or is there a good
Yeah,
word for that?
patrons, guests. We could probably come up with something. I mean,
Yeah,
I kind
the
of
chat.
think everybody who's here is sort of like a creative adventurer, somebody who's looking for creative adventure,
Mm,
and this is the place to like, pick up on maybe to pick up the start of a creative quest line, if you will.
yeah,
Um, yep, I don't know that we can certainly workshop that,
yeah,
and
definitely.
certainly be open to any ideas from the chat. If you guys
Well,
have an idea of like what you would like to be called, let us know.
Captain Blue Blue said that you could call them drunks.
Drunks.
That's
They're
awesome.
drunk on creativity.
Yeah,
I
drunk.
love it.
Yes, yes. Where is the rum?
Drunk with
Gentleman
creative
Heavy
power.
says, tavern goers. Yeah,
Tavern
yeah,
goers.
yeah. So we'll definitely think about it. And oh God, drunks is a really fun one. Drunk. What Zen says drunkard. Okay, we got two for drunkards. That's pretty funny. But yes, thank you guys so much for being here. And Michael, let's go ahead and go into our recap. And should I go first or should you go first? That's the ultimate question I will ask every single week.
Um, why don't you go first?
Sure. All right. I shall go first. And in order to do that, I need to give me one moment. Share my screen.
Sure.
And the screen that I will be sharing is hold on. Should I share screen? Oh, wait. I'm getting confused again. All right, hold on. Screen is
No
this
problem.
one, and there's this.
Stand by.
All right, and then I'm gonna go here. Okay. So Michael, you are looking at the Dr. Pepper can right now, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, but that's actually not what we're supposed to look at. What we're supposed to look at is this right here. A quick review, everyone, that this was the model where we left off last week, but I really, really want to quickly to show the chat what we've been doing. The video that I made, just to give a sense of
Yeah,
you know
hell yeah.
the thing. So Michael, you might not be able to hear the sound, but the chat will. So let me go ahead and play it,
Excellent.
and hopefully it'll play. So this is where we last left off last week. It's a really rough video of what Michael and I want the space to look and feel. You go through this tunnel and then you go into the scene 5, kind of like the finale area, and then we are in this space where we're flying through this gigantic interior asteroid that has like a lot of like mineral or fuel or something that that the bad guys are sucking up, taking over, extracting, and then we have to stop them. And the note from Michael in the chat was like, uh, currently what you guys are looking at, it feels a little bit too much like the bad guys space, and we want it to feel more like a refinery, like a general neutral refinery. It's partly because of the angles of the bad guys. The mini boss has like an angle to it, and the architecture also kind of has an angle to it. So what I did last week, which I will show you after this video, is I made things a little bit smoother looking, more round, and so it will look a little bit more distinct apart from the bad guy, the mini boss. Sorry, it's kind of, I have really trouble talking and watching and listening to music simultaneously, so I'm just like trying to balance, like, oh god. So yeah, hopefully you
You're
guys.
doing great.
Thank you, thank you. This is great practice for me, just speaking, just publicly, right? So yes, so now we're just flying through between the bad guys' armpits, and this is something that Michael and I are gonna have to work through currently. Michael, last week maybe even, he found a way to uh, kind of place a path in Unity so that we don't have to, you know, put the camera at a certain location and put a keyframe there. Both Michael and I did that in Blender as well as in Unity, and it's not the best way to set a rail. And so Michael actually found a way to do what you did in Unity in Blender. So I'll go ahead and
Ooh,
show you guys how to do that today.
awesome. That's
Yeah.
great.
Hey Yeti, how are you doing, man? It's good to see you, dude. What
Doing
Zen
good.
says, that's sick as hell. Yeah, thank you so much, What Zen. That's so cool. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and shut off the video. Thank you guys so much for watching that. So from that video, we went ahead and changed up the environment to look a little bit like this. I added some, I want to say fuel pylons, where if we fly through it, it would look like this. So this, apologize you guys, there is no music. This is just more or less me just showing the new changed updates. And so this is now kind of like the update from last week of how it looks with the new fuel pylons, right? And notice that there's going to be a lot of clipping because I didn't change the camera path, the plane path, is because that's just way too hard. I didn't want to spend time doing that. All I wanted to do was just update the interior. The design is what's most important right now. We'll figure out the path a little bit later on. So this is from what we did last week, and I just want to get you guys' opinions on it, and catch you guys up to date before I move on. So essentially, it's the only difference is that now they're vertical pylons, and those little pylons are basically being attacked by the mini boss, and and yeah, you guys can see that he's attacking it, and obviously there's a lot of clipping going on, but it's okay. And then whoa, clipping, clipping. Um, yes. So yes, so that's where we left it last week. And the notes from last week from Michael was that, um, if I remember correctly, I'm sure there was more than this one, but this the only one that I could think off the top of my head. And Michael, please remind me if you have any other notes that please let me know. But these rocks up here, these asteroids, feels a little bit too busy, and they don't feel that great. And I went ahead and updated that to look to have it look like something else. Um, and that's right now. That's all I can remember. I can't remember anything else. Uh, Michael, do you remember anything? Your notes?
Well, for my notes, that was the big one. Was that
Yeah.
maybe there's something else that we can do with that opening in the ceiling? But
Hmm.
overall, because this was the first time that I had seen the revision of that space, my reaction was pretty positive because I really liked the more circular, kind of C curve shapes that you introduced into the space,
Hmm.
as opposed to the sharp like angle braces that were there before that were mirroring the same sort of sharp motif of the enemies, which made it, kind of like what you were saying earlier, made it feel like we were actually in their space as opposed to them invading, some other space. Um, the other thing that I didn't mention this, but you brought it up and I agreed with it, was you had said that once you got those sort of like tentacles coming out of the boss, that maybe the original design that we had for that
Sure,
needed
right.
some
Mhm.
additional
Mhm.
upgrade because now it
Mhm.
felt like maybe there were kind of two conflicting ideas there, or two, not two conflicting ideas, but two ideas that weren't quite meshing as well as when the boss
Right.
originally just had those like three big arms.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but
Yeah,
but
no,
yeah,
yeah,
overall, I
cool.
thought it was awesome. Like I really like the update compared to previously.
So, thank you, Michael. So, before I go into the other new model, that's something that I kind of struggled with this week was time. I didn't get a lot of stuff done, but what I did do, basically changed up some elements of these pylons because right now, if you look at it, it just feels like too very up and down ish, right? And so
Mm.
I don't know if we like that. And Michael, I changed it up just a little bit. I don't know if you will like it. But let me go ahead and show the
Ooh.
new one to
Well, let me
the
see
chat.
what the new. Ooh, yeah.
So, oh well, hold on. Well, should I give an overview of it first, or should I just because showing
Yeah,
it
go
like
ahead and give an
as is?
overview. Sure.
Okay, so what I changed was I updated the fuel thingy to give it a little bit more of a design element because I
Mm-hmm.
just didn't like the up and down. I added this little kind of like little bracing thing here,
Mm-hmm.
structure here, just to feel a little bit more architecture, feel more important, if you will, like
Mm-hmm.
it's being contained by something, right? And also, I remember one of your notes saying that, there's maybe we could shoot something up on top and then it'll drop down onto the bad guy, right? That
Yeah.
that kind of got me thinking too. What if there was like a main power generator that's below the mini boss, right?
Mm-hmm.
And in order to, really destroy him, we have to somehow overreact. What's the word?
Overload.
Overpower? Overload. Thank you so much. Overload this power core, and then in a sense,
Mm.
once the core is being powered up, it overloaded, then it shoots up this like energy, this energy,
Whoa.
and then it'll be like,
Yeah.
and then the mini boss will be like, ah, what the fuck, ah, and then it like, get the hell out of here, boop, you know.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
yeah, so that's what I was thinking. That's why I made this bottom a little bit bigger, and that's why I created this, big thing right there. Oops. Oh no. Shoot.
Uh-oh.
Let me bring that down again. So it's just to kind of show like, oh, this beam of energy just will just, go up and kill it, right?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Love
What
it.
else? What else? What else? What else? Oh, another thing. One of the comments that you made was, what if the in Overwatch, when we play the custom games, arcade game, the assassin, right, jumping from one place to another, I
Mm-hmm.
thought like, well, this mini boss is like so big, it's kind of it'll be hard for him to jump from one place to another. So I was thinking, what if I created and take off your producer's hat for a moment, a bot that is
Ooh.
kind of like, like this little guy can jump. It's smaller and it's a little bit it could jump from one thing to another if we want it to.
Yeah.
That its main purpose is to suck the energy out from the fuel cells, and then we could go ahead and kill it
Whoa.
if we want. That's just an idea, and feel free to let me know what you think about that. Not yet though, not yet, not yet. Hold on.
Okay.
All right. So before I do any of that, I will play it through the POV camera. So let me
Ooh.
see. All right. All right, and I will press play now. So this is. Oh wait, shoot. Oh no, I'm using the wrong camera. It's supposed to be a surprise moment, but all right, let me go back. Not a surprise moment, but anyways. So basically, we're going through here, flying, flying, flying. So this is how it looks once it goes in. I think I added like two more ring tiers as well as a drawbridge. Um,
Cool.
like see the bridge right here, like a little walkway bridge.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, clipping. So to me, adding these little braces on the side of the fuel cells just makes it look a little bit cooler looking, a little bit more believable, in
Mm-hmm.
my mind. Um, and adding these little circular walkways, it just gives us more things to duck and weave and dodge out of. Um, flying through. Whoa, clipping. Whoa. Whoops. Oh, sorry. Sorry, guys. I'm also kind of analyzing. Oh, okay. So now, obviously at the
Ooh.
above, it looks a little bit different. I kind
Mm-hmm.
of created like a ventilation shaft up above. I made it a little bit. They don't really line up because to me they're kind of destroyed. I'll make it look a little bit better. But just to give it a little bit of story element that this actually came from above and just crashed down, and it basically
Mm-hmm.
like screwed up like you know I could actually make it a little bit more crazier looking as well, just to tell that story a little bit. What? So yeah, chat within this space, there'll be like a whole bunch of like various uh bots flying around, and we're gonna have to destroy them as well. Whoa. I love ducking in and out of stuff. It's so cool. All right. So that is how it feels with the old path. Now what I did was what you did in Unity inspired me to figure out how to follow a path using a path and have and lock the camera onto that path so that it can,
Mm-hmm.
we can manipulate it a little bit better. So, Gentleman Heavy Horizon and Zen, I know you guys put stuff in. Sorry, let me do some of this stuff first before I get to your comments, guys. Give me 1 second. Where is my Bezier curve? And then I shall go here to camera 2. All right, so let me do this. So now I basically created a curve and then placed a, is it visible? Hopefully it's visible. Placed a camera that's locked onto the Bezier curve,
Cool.
something like this. And then so you could kind of see that obviously it's like super fast, and I didn't really do a lot of editing towards it, but you can tell
Mm-hmm.
there's a line in front, and then we can now know in Blender, tell
Oh,
it where
wow.
to go.
Cool.
Yeah. And obviously I spent like maybe an hour trying to figure this out, and there wasn't enough
Mm-hmm.
time to, make it nice and pretty, but it
Still,
can be
you did
done.
it, man.
Yeah, it can be done in Blender. You basically follow a path, and then now I know it's a little bit fast because of the frame rate I gave is or I'm sorry, the
Mm.
frames I gave was only 600, so there wasn't enough frames, so it's like essentially rushing through it. But the theoretically it should work. See how it's like following a path. So yeah,
Yeah.
this is a great learning, great find that I was like, oh, this is great. I can totally use do this, uh, mock it up in Blender, and then if we like how it looks, then we can also do it in Unity too. But that's one thing that I want to work with you on, Michael, is should I kind of do a rough path around the interior space and then export that into Unity if I figure out how to do that with the path and all. And then you could take what I did and then map out the rail onto that, or vice versa. I could just give it to you as is without any path, and you can figure it out yourself. Whichever way is better. Like for example, I consider you the designer, and so I would love for you to be like, all right, it would be cool if we hit these points, if X amount of monsters came out, we kill those monsters, it triggers XYZ monsters, I would love for you to figure out because I don't want to be like, all right, this is how it's gonna fly through, it's how it's gonna go, right? So yeah, what is your thoughts on that, Michael?
Well, so any path that we put in there, whether it's like the rough path that you lay out or a rough path that I lay out, is going to change a bunch. And we're going to have to like
Sure.
start with something that's a draft, play it through, and be like, ooh, right there, that part needs this, or
Right.
this part needs to just be cut because that just looks awful and we can't get it to work.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, so I'm fine either way. If you want to export some like whatever you have, and then I can use that as sort of like our starting point in
Hmm.
Unity, and then
Hmm.
we can play it and then immediately start adjusting it. Or, vice versa, you just give me the model and I'll put something in there. Either one of those scenarios is fine. The reality is that whatever that thing is, it's going to change pretty rapidly,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
yeah. So
Sure. 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 Sure.
it's fine either way to me.
Okay, all right. Yeah, because I don't want to be like, all right, this is the path we're taking, I definitely, because you're the game designer, but at the same time, I don't want to be like, you're the game designer, you figure it out, because I do want to give you a starting point of how this should, in my vision, how, it can, run through the
Sure.
space. And it's just, throwing the ball back and forth so that we can
Yeah, and
figure out stuff.
thank you for that. But I also don't want to like own the whole thing. I want your input because like what you have here, even though it's just kind of a rough animatic, you've got all kinds of little moments and shots and vignettes that are super cool. Like this very first one when you kind of come into the space and then pan up and see this like uh big boss character, and you can see the
Mm,
ventilation where she came in and all these things that she's attached to. Like that's great storytelling. Like that's awesome. Like I think we need to do what we can to make that moment make it to the final game because
mm-hmm.
it's so impactful. Um,
Yeah,
so yeah, so having
cool.
that back and forth between um, your ideas and my ideas, I think is important. And I don't want to be like, oh, I'm gonna make all the decisions here.
Cool. Awesome. Yeah. So thank you, Michael. And so I guess what I have to do then is comp like essentially do a better path, create a story kind of path, just make it look fun and playable, as if to see how it would come out, if to my mind, how it would look. Um, that will be one of my homework that I will do. But Michael,
And
what
I
do you
would
think?
say well, for that homework, I would
Yeah.
say what I would recommend focusing on for you, because everything's going to change completely once you actually have agency and you can move the ship around and you can shoot
Hmm.
things and blow things up. For this purpose, I would focus on creating a path that is like cinematically appealing, that has these
Sure.
like cool
Mm,
moments that are like
hmm.
visually impressive, or
Great point.
really give you a sense of the space, or like fun close calls weaving in and out of pipes and things like that. Don't worry too much about like trying to create little moments where like, oh, okay, this is where a wave of enemies would come or whatever. Unless that's
Hmm.
something
Hmm.
cool that you would think would happen. Like, oh man,
Right.
there's like a ventilation shaft here. Like, oh, it'd be cool if a bunch of enemies came flying out of
Hmm.
there.
Hmm.
Then sure, yeah, go ahead. But don't feel like you need to try to plan around like gameplay. Basically, is what I'm saying.
Hmm. Hmm.
We can edit that in later.
Cool. Awesome. Thanks, man. Oh. Also, what do you think about the latest updates? For example, these guys, as well as the middle core, that power core that we need to overload, as well as these little jumping guys, that can
Hmm.
move from one to another. But yeah, your thoughts, man.
Sure. Overall, I think it's all pretty great. Like, I really like the additions that you made to those sort of like handlebars that are coming around the sides of the canisters. I think those are pretty great. Um, those look super cool. And I like that even though those they kind of have some sharp-ish corners, they have that hexagonal uh
Mm,
sort of motif, which
mm,
matches some other of the elements in there. Like I think you've got the same thing going on with the ceiling tunnel panels are also
mm-hmm.
hexagons,
Yeah,
which is cool because that is a bit distinct for the space as opposed to the sort of like kind of more triangular shapes that we
right.
see with the enemies. So that's great.
I
Um,
I can I can make these let me show you. I can make these a little bit rounder too, so that they're not as
oh,
sharp.
cool.
Yeah, so it'll add a few verts, but that's fine.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm fine either way. Um, let's see. Uh, one thing that I noticed, and I don't know that it's like a comment to say like, "Hey, we should do this because it'll be better." It's more of a like, "Hey, what would it look like if we did this? Maybe it'd be worse, maybe it'd be better. I don't know."
Hmm. Hmm.
But that is that all of the surrounding canisters are like mostly at the same level vertically, like on the y-axis. There's not a whole lot of variation. Well, I guess you do have a little bit there. Never mind. Um, and that actually looks pretty good. And in fact, I think that's more interesting than having everything kind of roughly in the middle, because then you can, for gameplay purposes, you can actually, fly up into like, oh, this one's
Right.
way up in the top corner up
Yeah,
here, so I'm gonna fly up there, and then the next one, oh, this one's way down below. Um, so I guess maybe we could potentially push that even further. I'm not saying we
sure.
have to, but I don't know. See if it still looks okay.
Yeah.
Because kind of like from a story perspective, the way I see these things working is that these canisters are like elevators that are moving up and down these shafts somehow,
Mm. Hmm.
and maybe
Hmm.
they're sort of like um, it's like a what do you call it? Like a viewport, like an examination canister where they can move up to those circular rings where like staff members who are running the mining operation can then have like a visual way to like inspect it. Of course, those people are going to be super tiny,
Super
like little
tiny.
tiny
Yeah.
ants walking on those giant platforms.
Right.
But it
Right.
would, kind of make sense that they would have equipment or like a control panel that could like, oh, let's raise shaft number 32A
Hmm. Hmm.
up to deck 4. That way we can take a look at what's going on in there.
Right.
Um, so having those things being able to like move vertically might be kind of cool,
Yeah,
but
it's cool.
yeah, I mean, even what you have looks neat, and I think is cool. Um, the little spider things are really neat. I like those. Um, the 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 thing that I trip up on though is I feel like those and the tentacles serve like a very similar function, and so
Hmm.
maybe it
Hmm.
would be one or the other, or maybe
Okay.
the little spider things would be doing something else. And one thing that we could do is the spider things could help fix or could remove a task for you. The task being like, hey, with the boss having these tentacles coming out that kind of don't really mesh with the boss's original design. Maybe the boss needs a redesign. Well, maybe we
Hmm.
don't
Hmm.
need a redesign for the boss. Maybe we just
Yeah,
get rid of the tentacles and have these little spider bot things that are hanging out instead.
that's
And so
music to
maybe you
my
have to
ears.
like shoot those things to
Yeah.
dislodge them, um, and then Ooh, yeah. So maybe I'm trying to think story wise and like gameplay wise, like how does this all work? So maybe those little
Hmm.
guys are attached there, and they're like suppressing the the system's like regulators or something. So when you blast those off there, then it's like unregulated, and the energy then gets like surges into the central unit. So if you shoot
Right.
all of those, then all of the energy is funneled into the central unit, and then maybe there's like one last governor or something you've got to
Uh,
blow up, like one control panel in the middle. Like shoot that, and then it'll completely uh, open the filter, and all she'll get a full dose of all that power. Yeah, exactly. Then that
yeah.
happens.
Yeah.
Um, so
Uh,
so yeah. So maybe we do that instead of the tentacle thing. As cool as it is having these like tentacles kind of like crisscrossing into the space,
yeah.
um those spider bot things are also really cool.
So it's so interesting. Like when you were talking, um, there is a hold on, control panel, control station, control panel
Oh, did you already
concept.
make this thing?
I drew a control panel um image a long, 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 long time ago, back when I was in college. Shoot, I don't think I could find it anymore. It was actually on Google. If you Google it, control control station concept. Sorry, let me pull up application. Window capture. Firefox. Sorry, chat. Give me 1 second, guys. Oh, it's already in use. Firefox. There. Wait, hold on. That's not it. You guys can see it, Michael. I apologize. You probably can't see it on
That's okay. I can
the
switch over
thing.
to Twitch.
Yeah, if you
Ooh,
look at
cool.
Twitch. So I'm just looking right now. I don't remember. I don't remember what the search term was, but I
Hmm.
actually did a concept art piece that has exactly that. I there, so that's the reason why I felt like, oh, it could do that. Control. Ah, hold on, give me 1 second, guys. Um, what if I did, hold on, give me 1 second. I don't know if I actually have this on my website, but anyways, it's a painting of a upward explosion onto the
Ooh,
atmosphere or something like that. And it's
cool.
unfortunate that I just remember this right now because that's just something that I designed long, long time ago. Hold on, let me go ahead and turn this on back on. So if you look on it right now, these are some of the environments that I designed. There it is. Do you guys see that? Um, sorry, it'll
A
probably
little bit
be a
delayed.
little bit delayed for you, Michael. Um, but yeah, chat, this is one of
Ah, yep, I see it
the
now.
concept paintings that I did. So, I mean, I want to say I came up with the idea is because in the back of my head, long, long, long time ago, I actually painted this power going upwards, and then so that
Hmm.
more or less can affect the mini boss that is that's in our space right here. So in the same way, it just goes goes
Yeah,
all
that
the
would
way up.
be awesome.
Yeah. Gentleman Heavy says control terminal. Yeah, Gentleman Heavy, thank you so much for giving me the idea or suggestions. I don't remember what it is, but oh gosh, what is it? Power core? Was it power core? I don't want to
Hmm.
stop the show for that, but concept power core. Blah, 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 blah. Because I remember seeing it on Google. I was like, oh my God, my stuff is on Google. But
Nice.
I can't find it right now because I can't remember what it's actually called. But anyways, that's not important. What's important is our what we're doing right now. But yeah, so cool. That's I like that feedback, Michael, because I am super lazy. I do not want to redesign our mini boss. Um,
Hmm.
I would much rather prefer redesign these guys. You can tell I kind of just like spliced all the claws together
Yeah,
really quick,
but
and
it
it just
looks
fits
great.
ahead. Yeah, cool, thanks. Awesome. Yeah, and I like your story element that they're suppressing, the flow of everything. They're charging it for themselves, so therefore they're disrupting the flow. And we have to like, kill these and then it's like once it dies, it's like it falls down or something, and then, it can be operating again. And then later on, at the last moment, we'll destroy this, and then the thing can kill or not kill, but get rid of the mothership,
Yeah, blast
mini
her out
boss.
of there.
Yeah,
Sure, totally. Yeah, I
yeah.
think that could totally work story-wise and gameplay-wise. That would be a lot of fun. Um, the only thing that we kind of miss there, and maybe it could actually be a thing where maybe we do like a couple of passes. Like maybe the little bot things are a problem. They're pests and they're like stealing the fuel or whatever. So we need to like kill all those things. And then there's a second pass where we have to go and shoot like a bunch of the regulators or governors in order to let the system overload to
Hmm.
dislodge her.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
like story wise, maybe we enter the space. We see, oh shit, this is crazy boss in there. She's stealing all the resources. Like, oh, this is nuts. But before we can deal with that, there's all this chaos. There's all these drones that are attacking us. So like, we need to go fight them. And then while we're flying around and fighting them, we realize like, oh man, look at all these little spider bots that are attached to the fuel columns. Like, we should probably get rid of those. So then second objective is like, okay, now shoot all those down. Then the third objective is okay, those are all gone. Let's fight the boss. Man, she's really tough. It doesn't we don't can't seem to do enough damage to dislodge her. Like, what are we gonna do? Hey, I know. Uh, let's disable the regulators. That way, it'll overload the system because she's tapped directly into it. So then we're flying around the space shooting these like those sort of like coupling things that you were talking about
Hmm.
before. But
Hmm.
but this time, instead of them being attached to the pit boss, they're actually just components of the environment. But
Hmm.
they're
Hmm.
still nice, big, juicy red targets for us to shoot. So then you
Yeah.
blow up all those, and then the last one is the emergency override control panel in the very central core,
Right.
and maybe once all the other regulators are blown up, that's when that sort of like trident forked coupling thing in your concept art sort of appears with like some kind of glowing energy.
Yeah.
Then you finally shoot its regulator, and then that beam shoots up out of it. And then that's how we dislodge her. So there's kind of like it's a
That's
multi-phase boss fight with a lot of different things to shoot. But then we don't have to
nice.
if we do that, we don't have to redesign the boss. We don't have to figure out any of the tentacle stuff.
Hmm.
We
Thank
can
God.
use the existing spider bots. The only thing that we need to add in there is some additional sort of like coupling or regulator thing in the
Hmm. Hmm.
environment to shoot.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
that
Hmm.
should be pretty
Yeah.
easy. I mean, you can
Yeah.
find a way to integrate that with the columns and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Definitely.
cool. Okay, so sound good. Sound like a
Awesome.
plan.
Yeah. Sounds good. Sounds really good. Hold on. Yes.
Good work, man. This is
Yeah.
this is great. Like,
And
you,
that's one of the reasons why you're so valuable, Michael, is that you have good story. You're able to come up with a good story for these guys. I'm just like, oh, fly this, shoot there, and yay, we're done. But you actually make sense of it all. So thank you for that, man. Really appreciate it, dude.
my pleasure. I actually can't help it. Like it'll drive me crazy if there's not like logical consistency within the story world.
Yeah, yeah. No, and that's really appreciated. Much appreciated, man. So before I move on, I want to get to some of your guys' comments. Sorry, man.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
Drunkards. Yes, we were at Drunkards. Confetti says, "Hey, Confetti. I just got scared in PUBG. You were playing PUBG. That's a first-person shooter game, right?
I think PUBG is a
PUBG.
third-person shooter.
Is it
It's like a
third-person
battle
too?
royale type game.
Ah,
Maybe
interesting.
it's first person. I don't know.
Ah,
I think it's Battle Royale, though. I've never played PUBG or Fortnite
yeah,
for that
yeah.
matter.
I've never played any of that either. But yeah, I'm doing good. How about you? Yeah, we're doing well, man. And you are in lurk mode. Thank you for lurking, Confetti Eddie. Zen says just phase through objects. It's not a bug. It's a feature.
It's a
Yes,
feature.
that's awesome. Onward says I got my drink already. Sweet.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
And Gentleman Heavy says maybe an rising rising door in the top would look nice if you wanted to close off the
Uh,
top.
an irising door. So, like,
Oh, oh, got it.
iris of your eye kind of
It's
does that sort
the
of a thing.
yeah, yeah. That's cool.
Yeah,
That's a good
that
idea.
actually could be really cool.
That's that'll be fun to animate. Whoosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, thank you so much, Jennifer Heavy. Really appreciate it. What Zen says, I'm drinking lemonade vodka mixed with orange soda. Nice.
I
That
was
sounds really, really good. That sounds super good. Gentleman Heavy says PUBG is both first and third, and a battle royale. Okay,
uh,
so everything that we said was right. I said it was the first, and you said it was the third, and also battle royale. So that's awesome.
we just
Thank you
needed
so
to
much, Gentleman
combine all
Heavy.
of it together and just
Yep,
yes,
ex-
all of that.
exactly. Okay, so yeah, Michael, I will do everything that we talked about. Hopefully, probably not all of it. I could probably get through because what I want to do is, design the coupling, kind of go in and make these guys look a little bit better because I kind of hashed these guys really quickly. Didn't really give much thought to it, but
Hmm.
I mean they look and feel okay, but I just want to
Yeah,
make it a little bit better.
sure.
And what else? What else? What else? I'll go ahead if I have time. I'll make a nice path. And I love the way you put it, a cinematic path where how it looks, flying around, and make sure that it looks good. And obviously, what you said is super true that this thing is gonna change probably 20, 30, 40 times to make it just right. So not to put too much pressure on myself to get it right the first time.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I'm kind of relieved and happy that we removed the cords, the underbelly cords, and that
Mhm.
I don't have to redesign this guy because man,
Sure.
it takes a lot of time, and I'm
And
lazy as hell.
well, I mean, and she's awesome. Like her design's fantastic as it is. And the other thing I was gonna say too is if we feel like we're missing those big fat cables, kind of like
Mhm,
creating some of that a few more horizontal lines in the space because this space has a shit ton of vertical lines
mhm, mhm.
relative to horizontal. If we feel like we're missing those, we can still add them into the environment. They just don't have to be attached to her. They can be like
Right.
giant cables that are connecting two of
Yeah.
the columns or
Right. Yeah.
something like that.
Cool. Cool. Yeah. No. Thank you so much for your input, Michael. I've
Yeah,
I've
thanks for doing all
also
the work. This is
yeah.
amazing.
No problem, man. And I obviously made uh the asteroid. It doesn't feel like an asteroid anymore. It feels like a pear now. Uh, if I turn,
Only looking at it from this
yeah,
angle, but we
yeah,
can
from the outside,
encapsulate that in something else that,
yeah, to
that
make it
you
look a
wouldn't be
little
able to
bit
tell.
better. Yeah. All right. Let me play this really quick one more time. Um, yeah, learning all this uh new technique in Blender definitely I was like, "Oh, yes, I knew you could do it. I just didn't know how." I basically went on YouTube and just, tried to figure it out. Or not figure it out, but learn from everyone who's been doing this, who has more
Sure.
expertise. And again, for all the YouTubers out there, if you guys are ever watching who has made a tutorial on anything, on behalf of me and Michael, thank you so much for doing that because that's part of the reason why we are actually able to do this is because you guys do amazing tutorials. Um, you
Totally.
know, and again, I always advocate, like before you go spend thousands and hundreds of thousands of money on school, see if you could learn it, buy a course online or something, go on YouTube and see if you could learn it yourself. That's it. It's so much more valuable than, going to school and spend ton of money and getting yourself in debt. So yeah, YouTube, thank you so much. Really, really appreciate it, man. Okay, so that's everything on my end, Michael. Chat, do you guys have anything you guys want to add to the model here so far from what I did? Feel free to give me your comments because I know your comments are super valuable.
Hmm.
I definitely will take into that iris uh, door opening consideration. Really
Mhm.
appreciate that one, gentleman heavy.
One other thing that just occurred to me
Yeah,
about
what's
this
up?
space. So in the world of screenwriting and like novel writing or storytelling, um, there's this concept of like putting a ticking clock on the situation, which is basically if you've got heroes who are trying to do a thing like, oh, we need to go and save this person, rather than just leave it at that and say like, okay, they need to go from here to there to save this person. You say, oh, but that person has been injected with a poison.
Mm,
We've got the antidote, but that poison's going to kill them in the next 12 hours if we don't get to. So you basically, you're putting some urgency on the situation.
hmm.
So I'm wondering if there's something we can do here to put a sense of like urgency on this situation. Maybe we can like add some elements to the roof that as we start like destroying the regulators and more energy is kind of flowing uncontrolled through the system, things start to like shake and shit from the ceiling is like
Hmm.
detaching and falling into the interior of the space. um and then I thought like, well, it might be kind of cool too if the fuel canisters that you have and
Hmm.
the like those sort of like side handlebars, if once the regulator was blown up, what if they like I don't know, detached and kind of like split apart like this, and the one on the bottom dragged the fuel into the core,
Hmm.
and then
Hmm.
the piece on the top kind of like, I don't know. We don't have to do that. I'm not saying it's a great idea,
Yeah,
but I'm just trying to think of like really the more important note there, I think, is maybe we can have some elements that we intend to collapse and to fall away and break away as you get closer and closer to defeating the boss. And then the column thing doing that, that's kind of an afterthought, really.
sure,
Um,
sure. So
but
basically, it's like a urgent thing that we have to get to and to prevent something bad from happening from this whole refinery from collapsing. We have to hurry up and, you know, kill all the bots before that imminent destruction happens.
yeah, well, so yeah, I think, I guess there could be two different things we could do. Like, we could put the ticking clock on it in that regard, where it's like, oh, we need to get there quickly and deal with this because something bad's going to happen, which is a good point. What I was thinking of more was like putting some pressure on the player to feel like this whole place is coming down. I need to hurry up and kill the boss and get out of here because this thing's going to collapse on me and kill me.
Okay.
Um, that kind of sense of like, oh, I'm safe in here. I just gotta fight the boss and these enemies. But if it's like the boss and the enemies are trying to kill me, oh, and the whole thing is on fire
Uh-huh.
and the parts of the ceiling are collapsing, yeah, trying to just like increase the stakes in the sense of like
Urgency,
danger
urgency.
and urgency to like, I
Yeah.
need to hurry up and kill this thing and get the hell out of here.
Right, right.
Um, but yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, food for thought. Nothing like major homework wise that
Hmm.
you need to
Hmm.
do, but
Hmm.
just I guess be considerate of like if you maybe want to add some things, you'd be like, oh yeah, this is a thing that would be cool to see, detach from the ceiling and fall through the space and explode
Right.
and in the center, or hit things on the way down and like start
Yeah.
really breaking things apart.
Yeah, it's that urgency that we want the players to have, like, we need to get it done or else something bad is gonna happen. It's just that urgent thing that urgency is pressure. Pressure and urgency is
Hmm.
that keyword that we want to feel as we progress through this level.
Even
Gentlemen,
if it's, yep. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm sorry. No, no, you go. You go.
I was just gonna say, even if it's like artificial, even if we're creating it and it's perfectly like curated and cinematic, and like the thing's never gonna collapse on you until you
Mhm.
get to this point in the rail, it'll still feel more
Right.
exciting.
Yeah. I mean, even if we have someone over the radio saying, "Oh, we gotta hurry up," and it's
Yeah,
it's gonna fall apart, or um, we need to blow it up, or else our carrier is gonna get destroyed or some shit like that. This is just
yeah,
just like get a sense of, oh my God, we gotta hurry up and do this. But yeah, no, that's great, Michael. Let me read what Gentleman Heavy says. Maybe have the fuel in the tanks flow down into the pool on the floor and have the ground level rise. Ooh, that's a good
that's a cool
idea.
idea. Yeah.
That's actually pretty good. In my mind, the fuel is the same fuel from The Rock, the movie. The poisonous gas fuel. Do you remember?
Oh, vaguely, it was like
Yeah,
it's green, right?
it's green. Yep, yep, yep. It's like
I'll
some
I'll look that up again.
yeah, it's like
'Cause yeah, I haven't seen The Rock in a long time, but I know kind of
mhm.
what you're talking about, and it's like real fragile and like hugely explosive, right?
Yeah, yep, yep, exactly. So when I was like designing it, it's like, oh, I'll just use green, the same green stuff from The Rock. Yeah.
Cool.
So I really like
Makes
that.
sense.
Yeah, right. So thank you so much, Gentle and Heavy. That's a really good idea. Like, that could also be part of it, right? If we don't do hurry up and get our thing done, the thing will rise, and then eventually the whole place will come apart. He
Yeah.
also says maybe have that fuel catch fire near the 75-80% done point.
Hell yeah.
That
Yeah, it's a good
that's good.
idea too.
That's really good. Thanks, man. That's great. I always love Gentleman Heavy's ideas. Yeah, thank you so much. Okay, so that is it on my end. Should I throw the ball back to you, Michael?
Sure.
Okay.
Uh, good and good job, by the way, man. Like you did an awful lot, like since we last talked. A lot more
I
than
don't
me. So,
I don't feel it. I felt here's the thing. I felt like I was oops, sorry. Let me go back to this thing right here. I felt like I was wasting a lot of time exploring and working on stuff that didn't work. Um,
that's yeah. Well, you got some things to work. You got
yeah.
the Bezier rail to work. You got
Oh,
the
yeah, yeah, yeah,
spider
yeah.
pots in there, and the redesign for the fuel canisters. You were much more successful. Your win rate was much better than mine. Wait till we get to
Well,
the
we'll, we'll,
fiasco of.
we'll see. Before we do that, I want to give Confetti Yeti his drink since he
Ooh,
ordered
yeah,
a drink and his favorite drink is the Jack Daniel honey. So,
nice.
so this
Ooh,
is his drink right here. I'm gonna put it right next to Horizon's drink right here. Just even it out a little bit. And chat, uh, if you guys are in the chat and watching us, feel free to follow our Discord. And in the Discord, whoops, not at social, whoops. In the Discord, we'll have our hold on. In the link, we'll have our Discord. So when you're in Discord, feel free to put in what your favorite drink is, and then I will label it as such. And then when you guys are here and you guys are joining us, I want to serve you guys a drink. That's cool. Anyway, just fun
fantastic.
stuff. Fun stuff. All right,
Yeah, no,
Michael,
that's great.
you have the ball.
All right, ready to share this? Okay, so
Yep.
I need to share my full screen, right? Because otherwise it gets real wacky with Unity, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess yeah, I'll do smoother video, and then if it does the thing again where it like gets blurry, just yell at me, say, "Hey, it's blurry," and then
Sure.
I'll
Sure. Sure. Sure.
reset it. Where we were last time, basically I had created a couple, like you can see in green here, a couple of those different rails, similar to what you had made. But I was just experimenting, trying to get the thing working and throwing a couple of like pre-made assets that I had uh, in Unity to just see what would happen with various things. And so I've got our ship in here that's kind of like flying around, and I can move it, and I can shoot the
Nice.
gun and stuff. Um, and yeah, that's kind of like where I was previously, just sort of like experimenting with having this ship move alongside the big ship.
Mhm, mhm, mhm,
And what does that look like? And how to give
mhm.
a sense of like scale and epicness. And of course, there's no like enemies in here. Um, but yeah, so that's what I did this time. Actually, was I experimented with. I'm gonna switch scenes now to I think it's scene one. Um, yeah, I guess I'll just play this. Um, so I've got a new like rail. I wanted this one to like have you coming out of the hangar, and then kind of like spinning back around to like see the big ship.
Mhm,
I'm
mhm.
still kind of playing with it because I feel like it takes too long here for you to like get back around. So I may do like maybe some kind of drift um out of the thing. But anyway, so I've got that in here. I also figured out a way to get my hypothesis, which proved correct, was that I can just create rails for the enemies and put them on rails too. So I've got like, this rail here has this group of enemies that'll actually
Cool,
like move along that rail. So if
cool.
I switch to let's see, player rail, uh, I guess I moved that one. Well, what I can do is, I guess I could just, well, stand by. I'm just going to make another quick rail here.
Yeah, yeah, no problem.
Actually, I don't even need to do that. I can just unassign this one to none and then reset the player rig to 0. And now if I hit play and I'll maximize. So now that our ship's not going to move, but you can see these other,
Oh, cool.
guys are kind of like flying around in
Yeah,
there. I
yeah.
didn't program the rail far enough so you can see like when that guy
Oh.
gets there, he crashes into the other ones and get a little bit of a bowling ball situation. Um, but yeah, so I've kind of been playing a little bit with like you can see these first two waves that come here are a pair, so they're like um, two drones per rail, and they're both attached to like the same um, dolly, so they kind
Uh-huh.
of like move together. Whereas the
Yeah,
third and final guy who comes in, he's like on his own rail. So
yeah.
you can get a lot more finesse in what they do and how they fly if there's just
Mhm,
one of them, but
mhm,
also
mhm.
that is a little bit more costly in terms of like having to create a rail for every individual thing. There's probably also ways that I can add animation, so I can like take these guys and maybe add animation that happens while they're on the rails, so maybe they can kind of like hover up and down a little bit to make them and have them each hover up and down like asynchronously from each other to give it a
Right,
little bit less of that sort of static, very uniform feel.
right,
So
right.
I'll need to play with that. But my big theory was confirmed that I can just create a bunch of rails and do the same thing for these guys as I did for the player ship by
Mhm,
just
mhm.
telling them, hey, you're on this rail and you're traveling at X speed. So I can actually go in here and change that speed and say like I want these guys to move real fast, and then hit this, and you'll see like these guys are going to fly real quick
Whoa,
past that one,
yeah.
whereas the other ones go kind of slower.
Mhm, mhm.
Um,
Nice.
and then I think I've got this program where I can actually, yeah, I can kill
Ooh,
those guys.
nice.
Um, so yeah, so that was like the big success from last time was being able to figure that out. I didn't, and I really intended to spend more time kind of like mapping out the player's rail and figuring out a couple of like different moments, but I didn't do that because I had a big major defeat before I was able to do any of this. And that was if I switch the player rig back to his rail and then hit play. You remember the issue with like, oh, the cursor like or your targeting crosshair disappears into objects, like it clips into them. Like
Mhm.
it would be great if that could stay on screen all the time, right?
Yeah.
Um, that seemed like a pretty simple little thing because you can see like it's clipping into the ship right here as I get closer. Like, oh no, I don't want that to happen.
Yeah.
That's because each of those crosshairs is just an object that is out in front of the ship. So when the
Mhm,
ship
mhm.
is pointing at something, it's just clipping through there. That seemed like a really easy, quick thing to fix. I spent an hour and a half just searching and watching videos and tinkering with things and trying things, and I came up completely empty-handed and just utterly defeated. Like I just could not figure out how to get that damn thing to work.
Mm.
Um, so I still don't know. So
Mhm, mhm.
I still don't know how to do that. I'm still working on it. I got close-ish to a couple of things. There is a way to do it without the Cinemachine system, but the Cinemachine system is so valuable because of that rail
Yeah.
system that I don't want
Yeah.
to, you know, I'd rather have this be like a little weird bug than that. But I'm
Sure.
I'm sure I can get to a point where I can figure this out. But it it what you know I got in the ring on that one, and it knocked me out. Like not the other
Mhm,
way around. Which
mhm.
you know that's the public service announcement there is that sometimes in the creative process, that's just what happens. You show up and you do your work, but you get your ass kicked, and and the thing you were trying to do um, doesn't work, and you walk away empty-handed. But you got to keep showing up and trying more.
And it's
So
so frustrating too when that happens.
it really is
It's like it
because
yeah.
because you it's not like you are not trying. Like you're
Mhm,
really
mhm.
burning brain cells to try to figure this thing out and solve this problem. And it feels so unjust. Like, hey, what the hell? Yeah, I'm doing my job. I'm here. I could be doing something else. I could be playing Overwatch. I could be sleeping,
Hell
but
yeah.
I'm here working
Yeah.
on this thing. Why am I not winning? What the F? Um,
Yep. Yep.
that's just the way it goes. It's just the way it
Yeah.
goes.
Yeah, it's just part of the journey. Yeah, sometimes
Oh,
I know that exact feeling, man. It's really defeating.
yeah, it really is. Um, but there was one thing that was really cool that I was able to figure out, which was you can notice here uh, when when we first come out of the hangar there, you're kind of like hanging out in space here for a while, and it's like, that's kind of moving kind of slow. Like I wish that would go a little bit faster. And I was trying to think of ways to do that without using the that system that I showed you before, where you can here I can actually back out of here and go to the scene, select the player rail, without doing the thing where in, without setting the ship to travel in between each node at the same at to hit each node in a specific time interval. So if it was like set to like hit each node after 1 second, then it
Mhm.
would take 10 seconds to travel this whole distance. But
Yeah.
because nodes 2 and 3 are really close together, it would slow down to make
Right.
sure that it didn't get to the 3 before the second was up. But
Mhm.
9 and 10 are really far apart, so it would like zoom in order to make sure that it covered that distance and got to the 10 within a second.
Mm.
But if you set it to instead travel at a constant speed, well, then it doesn't care about the nodes, and it just knows like, oh, your entire track here is 1,179 units, and I'm traveling at 11 or 10 units per second. Okay, well, I'll just
Mhm. Mhm.
work my way on through it. Uh, and that makes it way like doing it that the latter way where it travels at a constant speed is way easier to make a rail layout than the other way, because the other way you have to
Sure.
be very conscious of the speed that it's moving constantly. Like here it's going to be going fast, and here it's going to be going slow, and I need to, but I want it to be going fast here, but I also need it to like make this very hard turn that needs
Mhm.
lots of nodes.
Yeah.
So that was a bit of a pain, and my thought was like, well, what'd be really cool if I could do something where I had like if I could create actually I wanted to create a cube. Like if I create a cube in space, and where the hell is this cube? And we make this really big. 20, 20, 20. If I could create a cube and then make it like invisible, and then stick it on the rail path, and then like whenever the player passed through. So okay, well that's way off down there. Um, uh, my OCD is preventing me from just explaining this. So that's almost there. Okay. So now this cube is basically in this rail path, right? So my idea was like, I guess you can imagine this little drone here who's flying on this particular rail path.
Mhm.
When he's gonna fly it at like his speed, maybe it's 20 per second to here, and then create a script that says, hey, when you collide with this with this object, I want you to speed up. So that you can have these sort of like these boost gates, if you will, where when you would pass through that gate, that would be totally invisible to the player, it would change the speed of the object on the rail. And I
Cool.
was like, "Ooh, that would be really cool."
Yeah.
Um, and I can do that.
Nice.
It took some time, but I figured out how to do that in the scripting. But the thing that I did as sort of like a preliminary experiment was actually, I think, even more interesting than that. Um, and that was what I did is I actually I assigned that variable in speed to the player's control uh, when they are firing the lasers. And basically, what I did is just to see if I could get it to work. This isn't like designed for the to be interesting gameplay wise, but just to see if I get it to work, I said when you're shooting the lasers, I want you to slow down to half speed. So when I'm shooting, you can see it slows.
You're making it like
And
Diva. Don't do that. I hate it when Diva does that. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm
yeah,
kidding.
exactly.
I'm kidding.
But I thought like, wow, wait a minute. So instead of just and maybe in addition to having those sort of like speed gates, what if the player could just boost themselves? Like they could have control
Sure.
over boosting and braking, which is
Yeah.
great because that's like right out of Star Fox. Like Star Fox does that too. Um, so I accidentally stumbled upon adding in that functionality where now the player can actually control the speed of the ship. So,
Cool.
when I'm in here, I can actually slow down if I want to, speed up again. Um, right now, it's
Nice.
currently mapped to the
Hmm.
shooting the lasers button, but I mean, I can map it to whatever button we want. Maybe it's the right mouse button instead of the left mouse
Right.
button or
Right.
whatever.
Right. Right.
Um, but anyway, so the silver lining of my creative defeat story is that this actually was a win. This was something that
Nice.
I wasn't taught how to do in the
Uh huh.
tutorials,
Uh huh.
but was putting the pieces together and was like, wait a minute, how do I do this? And it
Right.
was kind of hard because I had to like find a way to go and access something that the Cinemachine script was creating,
Yeah.
which for anybody who's interested is probably going to be a little bit what's the word, pedantic and technical. But inside the player controls script, I basically added a where is it?
Oh, Michael,
Yeah, I added.
if you're gonna share the script,
Oh yes,
yeah,
you're
make
right.
sure. Yep.
I need to switch that, huh? Stop, share,
Oh,
screens, this, better text, go live, Unity. Here we go.
yay, we're back. Boom. Perfect.
Um, and actually, it's a
Wow.
little bit easier to read this when
Looks
it's
so
in
good.
Visual Studio because it's color coded. So this is the script that controls the player ship movement. And down here, I added a new game object called the rig, which is basically it's just a way to tell this script, hey, here is the rig object, which in Unity is this thing. So it's this object that is the parent object of the camera that's
Mhm.
behind the player ship and the player ship. So the player rig is what that object is. And I'm basically in
Mhm.
here, I'm just creating some code to make it visible. So that way then I can do
Mhm.
stuff with it in the code.
Mm.
And the way I do that is by basically I tagged the rig, as you can see over here. It's tagged as
Rig.
rig. It could be tagged a
Yep.
bunch of different other things. It can be tagged, player, game controller, main camera, whatever. And you can add new tags if you want. But I
Mhm.
made it rig. That way I could find it. Found it.
Nice. Nice.
And then down here, I go into the rig to get this like Cinemachine component to get the access to the dolly cart speed, and then I'm changing it. So here I can actually, if I change this to like maybe 50 and set this one to 20, now when I shoot, instead of slowing down, I'll actually speed up.
Cool.
If we go back in here, as long as I know what I'm doing, yep. So now, shoom, and zip
It's
really fast
choppy,
when I.
but
Oh,
be,
that's right, because of the
yeah, yeah. But it's yeah. If you
damn
go back. Sorry,
Discord.
guys. Sorry. So we're Michael and I are finding out that there are upsides and downsides of streaming on Discord. Whenever we're streaming on Discord using Unity, anything that is running smoothly, it's not readable, and anything that's readable doesn't run smoothly.
Right. Yeah, you have your choice between clear resolution or high FPS. You
Yeah.
can't have both.
Yeah.
So now when
Cool.
I'm shooting,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
zoom a
Cool.
little bit,
Yeah, that's
and then
cool.
when I'm not, I slow down. And again, like I said, it's currently mapped to the fire button, but it doesn't have to be. It can be its own
Sure.
unique thing, and we can
Sure.
add like
Sure.
a booster effect. So when you do that, it's the
Yeah.
thrusters
Mhm.
ignite and create some like cool particle effects trails and things like that.
Mhm. Mhm.
Um, Anyway, so there you go. That's kind of like my update. I don't have a whole lot to share because I was spending a lot of time wrestling with things under the hood. I won one of those battles and lost
Yeah.
the other one.
Ah. But hey, at least gained some knowledge. That's actually I really don't like the fact that, how Diva slows down when she's firing. But
Mm-hmm.
gameplay wise, it makes sense. It would be OP if you're able to shoot and walk at the same speed. But that
Right.
doesn't make sense because all the other characters they shoot and walk at the same speed, right? I mean,
Well,
Sigma's
I mean,
walking in the shoots and walks at the same speed when he's shooting simultaneously.
well, it yes, but Sigma's a very slow character. He's probably one of the slowest between like him and Zenyatta.
All right, fine.
All the characters I can think of who have an accelerated movement or an accelerated movement ability can't use it while they're shooting. So, like Soldier 76, he can run. He's got a sprint mechanic, but you can't shoot or reload when you're running. You have to stop
Mm,
and walk at your normal pace. Reinhardt's got his charge, but when you're doing that, you're locked into the charge. You can't
yeah.
swing, you can't throw your fire strike, you can't do anything. So I think there's, yeah, it's an intentional design choice to make sure that you're not like
OP.
that you
Yeah.
can't, as Diva, like boost into somebody while firing the missiles and your guns and just like, completely
Yeah.
explode them. And they're like, where the hell did you come from?
Unfortunately. But yeah, and that's
Unfortunately
why
for the Diva player out
yeah,
there.
I know. Yep, 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 yep. And that's why I'm not a designer or a game designer because I just want everything. And if I was in charge, nothing would be balanced. Everyone would get their way.
Like, my main character would be perfectly balanced and amazing.
That's
Everybody
that's
else I
right.
don't care about.
Yeah, that's right. Okay. Cool. Thank you so much, Michael. That was awesome. And yeah, that's something that Michael and I just want to talk about really quick because or one thing that I want to talk about because we both of us felt a little bit defeated this week session was that we tried out a lot of different things and we just feel like we spend a lot of time doing stuff that doesn't work. And unfortunately, like Michael said during his session, is just that it's just part of it. It's just part of the creative process. And even all the experience and years that I've been doing this, I still feel depressed and awful like when I don't produce something that is acceptable to either Michael's standard or myself, to my standards. Because for me, every single day, I want to make sure I actually have something produced that is viable, that can be used, and that is effective and just worthy of my time, basically. And when that doesn't happen, boy, I feel like shit. And unfortunately, the truth of the matter is that's just part of the creative process, and it sucks. I wish every day could be one step forward, but sometimes it's, one or two step back. When I say that, that means like maybe, you accidentally delete a file or you screw up something that you did, like, like a Photoshop dies on you and it's like, oh shit, I didn't save. Oh, why didn't I save? So sometimes that happens. It sucks, but again, it's part of the creative process. And just for us to encourage you guys out there when you guys are designing things, don't, I mean, feel bad. I'm not going to tell you not to feel bad because it sucks, right? But it's know that it's just a part of the process and all you can do is just move on. Michael, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, well said. And to like add on to that last point, uh, don't when that does happen, it it's normal. It doesn't mean you're doing it wrong. It doesn't mean, oh, I'm not a creative person or I'm not cut out for this. That happens to everybody. The best of the best have those days where they just can't get anything to work. And that's just the nature of the process. The other thing is that that same idea of like, hey, sometimes it's hard and you come up empty-handed. That's not just the creative process. That's also the learning process. Like if you're learning
Right.
new skills or doing new things, there are going to be times where that it's something where you just can't figure it out, or you, no matter how many times they explain it, it just doesn't sink in. Um, and so when you are learning to do something creative that you've never done before, that just it can create this like exponential ball of frustration because you're trying to do something creative, which the very nature of doing something creative, Seth Godin put it really well in his book, The Practice. It's basically trying something that might not work. And when you're doing that, with something you don't really know how to do and you're trying to figure out how to do that, it can be so frustrating to like not be able to figure this piece out, so you can't even try this. Or to like finally get over the hurdle of like, okay, I learned what I needed to learn in order to try this, and tried it, and it blew up in my face and it was terrible.
Mm. Mm.
Um, that doesn't always happen. Sometimes, things go really well and you'll like try it and you're like, oh hey, actually that's pretty cool. And there are these little moments of like, like Bob Ross likes to say, happy accidents. Like in the
Yeah.
case of the piece of script that I was successful at figuring out, I I put it on that particular button just to try the code, because this is something that that you do in computer programming a lot. Is you'll put in a piece of code that's just sort of like a placeholder code, just to like see like logically, I think this code will do X, Y, Z. And so I'm going to put in an extra piece of code in here that'll like print out to a part of the screen what the computer's doing. That way I can read it and see like, okay, when the computer's doing that, is it doing what I think it's doing? Yes. Okay, great. Now I don't need that code anymore. I can get rid of it. That was one of the That's what this was for me. It was like, oh, I just want to put it in there just to see what it does, because it was going to be a little bit more complicated to create those control gates where I'd have to then program in the collision detection and all this other stuff. And I just thought like, I'm just going to put it on one of the buttons I'm already using. And that happened to be like, ooh, actually, that's kind of fun when I press that. Like, that might be really interesting to give the player more control over their ability to move the ship, instead of it just being us, the designers, creating like, okay, you're going to go fast through this section, and now you're going to go slow through this section, and now you're going to go fast again. To be able to give that over to the player and be like, hey, if you want to boost through here, you go right ahead. That could
Mm-hmm.
even create moments where it's like, hey, you have to boost through here if you don't want to get hit, if you don't want to take any damage. Um, so yeah, all of that is just to say it's a messy process that is at times exhilarating and fun, and there's cool things that happen. But it's not always like that. There are a lot of times where and the other thing too for me is this is not the only project I'm working on. It's not the only creative project I'm working on. That day where I got my ass handed to me by the crosshair problem was my fourth loss that day. There were like three other things where I tried to do it and got my ass kicked. Um, so by the time that one happened, I was like
Yeah.
90 minutes in, fuck this, threw my hands up. I can't do this anymore. I'm gonna go play Halo, and
Mm.
and just gave up, and needed
Mm.
that mental break, because that's you know sometimes it's tough. Sometimes it's really hard, and
Yeah.
don't get discouraged when that happens. Do what you
Yeah.
need to do to like unplug and relax and find your quiet place of tranquility. And you need to go play a video game or go read a book or take a
Yeah.
walk or do whatever it is.
Yeah.
Do that, and then
Yeah.
get some sleep and show up again the next day.
Yep.
But don't internalize it, and don't feel like, well, I just suck. And I guess there are other people out there who are good at this, and I'm not one of those people, so I'm just going to give up. Um, not, I mean, I know it's really cliche, but not giving up really is the key to getting there, because the the fuel that goes into the gas tank of your vehicle that's taking you to the end goal of the project, the fuel that goes in there is failure. You have to keep putting in enough failure in order to get to the things that actually work. Um, and it sounds counterintuitive. You would think that it would be something else, or that there would be like creative brilliance, or you need to get enough successes. But the only way to get those things, the only way to move the thing forward, is to brute force your way through all the things that don't work. and that are
Yeah.
frustrating
Yeah.
because, it's like chipping away at a big rock that's got a couple of gemstones in it. Like most of that sucks, and it's hard work uh, cracking that stone, but it's the only way to get at the gems that are inside. So I don't know. I'm
Yeah.
mixing up all my metaphors here, but
No, no, no. I think
rant
that's great.
over.
I think that's totally great, and thank you for sharing all that. And when that everything that you said reminds me of the book that I read a long time ago by John C. Maxwell. It's called Failing
Mm,
Forward. It's
mm,
basically a book about how failure are the stepping stones towards success. I think you already said that, Michael, in one of it like a few minutes ago. That without, if you don't try at least, you won't, get anywhere. And when you try, you'll probably fail, right? And so that's just again part of the process that you just got to keep on going and feel discouraged, but don't give up. Don't just like, this fucking sucks, screw it, uh what what you did, Michael, was like you said, I feel discouraged, screw this, I'm going to play some Halo. And after playing amounts of Halo or Overwatch for myself, then we kind of clear our heads, and then we were like, all right, let's get back to it. Let's go back in at it with a fresh mind. And this also reminds me of what Mr. Cotto, Bob Cotto, one of my favorite teachers at Art Center, taught me, was that if and when you fuck up a painting, if you forget to lose, if you forgot to save and all of a sudden you lose everything that you did, all you got to do is just do it again. And he gave me a story about how what he did, what happened to him as a student is that, he was doing his back then, what he concentrated on was acrylic painting, right? And then so he was doing a painting, and then some coffee spilled on his painting or something like that, and then so he's like, oh shit, and he freaked the fuck out. And then so he basically called his teacher and said, I had it all done, everything was ready to go, but coffee spilled. I don't remember if it was coffee or anything, but something happened. Like it screwed up my painting. What can I do? And then so his teacher was like, "All right, do you have burnt umber with you?" He's like, "Yes, I have the burnt umber acrylic paint." He's like, "Do you have burnt sienna?" He's like, "Yes, I have it." "Do you have cobalt blue?" "Yes, I have it." And he's like, "All right, so go ahead and take those and redo everything." And he's like, "Oh, so you just want me to redo it?" And then his teacher was like, "Yeah, just you're there's no choice but to redo it. So you just gotta just do it." And then so he basically repainted the thing that he screwed up, and he sent it in, and it looks great, right? Obviously the details in there is not correct. It's not coffee. I don't know what happened. But the gist of it was, you just got to pick it up and redo it. If you forgot to save, repaint it again. There's so many times when I'm like, if like I mess up a file, I forgot to save it, corrupted, or if Photoshop freezes, and I'm like, oh my god, and I give myself 5 to 10 minutes to bitch and moan about it. But at the end of the day, I have to get it done again. So after I get it all out of my system, I have to sit my ass back down and just redo it. But funny thing is, because I've done it once already, it doesn't take the same exact one-to-one time that it took me to get it to what it was before. Because I had the
mm-hmm,
experience, I was able to, I forgot what I had to redo, but it took me a fraction of the time that I actually redid it. So instead of me just giving up, saying screw it, I quit my job, giving up, you just sit back down and just kind of redo it, retackle it, and just try to fix the issue as much as possible. It sucks, but again, failure is part of the process, and that's just something Michael and I wanted to talk about, and share with you guys. That it's not every single week everything is like hunky dory. Oh, I made progress, Michael. Check this stuff out. There are going to be times when it's like, well, Michael, I didn't do much because, I had to, life happens. I had to go to a grocery store and my car broke down, or, I didn't feel well, stuff like this happens. So there are going to be some sessions where, Michael and I don't produce anything, and we'll just be here to chat with you guys. But I will strive my best to, always have some good progress for our games to share with you guys. So yeah, that's what Michael and I wanted to share with you guys. So yeah, with that all out
Well
of the
said, Chris.
way, yeah, thank you, man. With all that out of the way, do you guys have any question? Actually, no, wait, that's not true. We were supposed to take a look at everyone's amazing art
Oh yeah.
and and everything. Ah, this is gonna be so cool. So let me do some stuff really quick. Michael, do you need to take a break at all, or are you good to go for another round of
Yeah, I'm good to
art?
go.
All right, cool. So close. Let me close. Should I save? No, I don't want to save. Don't save. All right. And then, sorry, let me close some programs so that my computer will not die on me. And let me go to this right here. Let me open up Discord. Boom, right here. And this is right here. So this is the Discord. I'm going to go to gallery. Man, you guys posted a lot of stuff on here. Well, I'm going up, all the way up, going all the way up. Gentleman Heavy, we'll start with you. Are you in here, by any chance? Are you still with us? Because I would love to talk a little bit about your D&D character and about your cosplay. And before I do that, I want to go here and I want to share my screen. I want to share screen. This one right here. Whoops. Sorry, guys. You are seeing Blender program files. Close that and close this. And
Oh,
the application I want to share is Discord. Uh, Boom. Perfect. Yay. Awesome. Heavy is here. Sweet. Okay, so there are a few ways we can do this. Gentleman Heavy, you can either uh, talk through us in chat, or we could try to get you on the voice call. Um, to be full disclaimer, I've never done a voice call before with other anyone else other than Michael. So what I can do is I can invite you into our bar, and so you can share your voice with us and just talk a little bit about it. Does that sound good with you, Gentleman Heavy? Let me know. And while I wait for your response, maybe I could invite. How do I do this? Sorry, chat. This is my first time doing this. So, do I just Michael, if you know how to do this, please let me know too.
I don't. Maybe from within the bar, like if you switch back to that window, there might be an option.
Oh,
Yeah, click on
here.
that. Oh, there you go. Create invite. That's
There you
probably
go.
what it. Yep.
Nice. Um, so where's Gentleman Heavy? I don't see him. Oh, here you go.
Ah.
So let me see. After 1 hour, well, let's say 30 minutes. Generate new link and invite. So, Gentleman Heavy, I sent you an invite. Feel free to jump into the bar and chat with us really quick, if you would like to do that. I popped out
Oh,
another
it looks like he
window.
might be in the Hearth
Oh,
voice channel.
is he in the hearth?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh,
So I guess we could just go there to talk to him.
sure. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's just
Okay.
go there and meet up within there.
Okay, I'll see you
All right.
there.
Okay. Hey, Gentleman Heavy, how are you? Can you hear me?
Hey, howdy, hi.
Hello. Oh, I know.
Let me turn the stream down. Howdy, howdy, hi.
Hello.
Hello, man. Good to hear your voice.
Very good to hear you as well.
All right, I
So,
got it. Yeah. Sorry. I'm setting some stuff up really quick
Yep.
too.
Take your time.
Uh, yeah, and
Gonna
I'm
show
going
the
back.
gallery again so we
I
could
got it.
look at that while we talk.
Yep. So getting all
Perfect.
confused. Gallery. There you
Streamer
go.
mode.
All right. I have your stuff up, Gentleman Heavy. Talk to us. Tell
Very
us
good.
what your thing is all about, man. First of all, I'm so impressed that you're able to create your own cosplay outfit. That is cool, man.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And you said this is
It,
for D&D?
yes.
Oh, oh, shoot, something happened. Sorry, chat. Sorry, chat. Sorry, chat.
Oh,
Give
I
me
think
one
he's
second.
back.
Welcome back.
Oh, what happened?
We lost you. And looks like the stream is black on my end.
All right. Give me one second. Turn on.
Oh
Sure.
dear, the power of my voice has killed the stream.
Oh no.
Sorry about that. I don't know what happened. It just automatically just died for some odd reason. Pop this out
Hmm.
again, and let me go to gallery. Scroll all the way up, all the way up, all the way up. There you go. Now you guys are seeing it, right?
Yep.
Michael, you see it? All right, cool.
Yep.
Sorry about that. Go ahead.
Yes. So the character, his name is Epir Finvara. Uh, the group that I'm currently with, we're all going to a convention on the, I believe, when was it? It's this upcoming weekend, I believe, the
Uh-huh,
third
uh-huh.
through the fifth. So we're all going in costume because it'd be interesting to go and do that.
Nice.
So
Ooh.
we've all been working on our costumes for the past 3, 4 months, and depending on how things go, I'll see if I can't get a picture of all of us together.
Nice.
Yeah, that'd be great.
But the character is a artificer gunslinging
Nice.
fairy. Uh,
Cool.
it's a neat little concept that I've been trying to get going because I've always played larger, more like a medium-sized character instead of small-sized characters. I do more magic based rather than physical or like range combat. I
Mm-hmm,
wanted
mm-hmm.
to break out and do something different.
Nice.
So this is this.
Nice. Now, can I ask, how long did it take for you to put all this together?
All of this took maybe sourcing everything. I think the longest thing took to get sourced was the pistol,
Oh,
just
pistol.
because I
Okay.
got that specially made from a guy in California.
Oh, nice.
Wow, cool.
Yeah, I as much as I'd like to say that I can make a pistol, uh, I I ain't a blacksmith in real life, not yet.
Uh-huh, uh-huh. Have you
And
ever
what
thought about... Oh, sorry. Go
go
ahead,
ahead,
Michael.
Chris? No,
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 you
you
go ahead.
first.
Yeah. No, no, you. Go first. Go.
Okay, fine. Mike, pretty simple question. Like, what's your creative process like? Do you do a sketch first? Do you start with like some existing reference images? Do you have like something that's coming directly out of your D&D campaign that kind of like dictates like, oh, okay, the character needs to have X, Y, and Z pieces of
Um,
wardrobe.
it usually starts with a reference image that I just find through like character creation, through Google Images, what looks like what I'm trying to go for. Basically, what y'all do with your creative process here, trying to figure like with the control panel earlier, just going off
Mm-hmm.
finding something that looks about right,
Mm-hmm.
uh,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and then building off that. Uh,
Cool.
let me see, because I think I have. a picture of the 3D printed miniature that I've been using somewhere here. I'll throw that in there as well.
Nice.
Awesome.
I believe that is in this chat here. Yes, here he is. Uh, Let me throw this onto the desktop, and then I will send that into the chat.
Cool. Thank you, man. And are you still hanging out with your friends on the weekends to play D&D? Oh, I'm sorry, not D&D. Warhammer?
Yes.
That is so cool.
In fact, I am moving in with two of them. Basically, I think the second. Yeah, the second.
Oh, so soon, like in
Yes,
3 days?
yes.
Nice.
So we'll be doing a whole bunch more hobbying together. That's gonna be
Nice.
pretty nice.
Yeah, that's awesome. Have you ever thought about streaming your games on Twitch? Because people do that, right? Like
Yes,
stream their D&D.
we've been thinking about it. We've also been thinking about just starting up our own Twitch channel. Three dudes in
Oh,
an
sweet.
apartment,
Oh,
basically.
that's awesome. That's great.
Name notwithstanding, but it's still a work in progress.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's awesome. And please let us know when you stream or what your let us know what your channel is, and then we'll totally
Yeah,
promote it and tell people to go to your channel to check your guys' games out. Because there is one King Cass as well as Andy. They have it's another Twitch channel group that they do D&D every other Wednesday. So I like to just sit in on their games, just listen and work in the background, be a lurker. And I would love to do that with
yeah.
your game as well, man.
And I think we'd be doing more like Elite Dangerous, Satisfactory, more like technical games. We might do D&D because we do it through Roll20. Maybe physical games because we have our physical models. I did post the image of the model at the very bottom of the chat.
Oh,
I believe
sweet.
it should be there.
Yep. Oh, cool.
So
Yeah.
that is what he's supposed to look like. I don't much look like him,
Mm-mm.
unfortunately. I am
Mm-hmm.
not 3 feet tall, but it's close approximation.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
You said you're a gunslinger fairy. Right?
Yes.
And are you going to add wings to your costume? Cause right now up above I don't. Do
As
you have wings?
as much as I want to, I cannot for the life of me figure out how to make the wings look good. Like
Uh-huh,
I
Yeah,
uh-huh.
haven't
that's really
found
hard.
I haven't found the material to make it look like the gossamer wings that uh the model has. F- I haven't been able to find anything like online or anything anywhere to make it be a proxy of it.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And then
Got it, got it.
there comes the uh like the real world. How would I actually implement it? Because if you're trying to wear wings with a backpack, it kind of gets in the way, you know.
Sure, sure.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense. Yeah.
So
The
would
mhm.
I attach it to the backpack, or would I try and make a new, uh, uh, like a wide harness or something like that to put the wings onto?
Yeah,
I mean,
that's really interesting because whenever I'm drawing something, for example, I never think about how it's actually I don't think about space, right? But
Yeah,
when I'm designing stuff in 3D, then it's like, oh shit, well, I can't put the wing behind the backpack or the backpack behind the wing. It's like now I'm designing 3D, I have to think about that kind of stuff. Same thing in real world. It's like, oh yeah, you have a backpack. How are you supposed to attach the wing to that? That's definitely a lot harder than it is to, just draw it in Photoshop, right? So
yep.
yeah, I totally understand.
But
and
yeah,
then you have spatial considerations when you're like, oh, I'm going to be walking around and standing near people and need to make sure this is not going to poke somebody in the eye, or if I'm going to be sitting down, how does that work?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's the other thing. Because I'm gonna be riding on the DC Metro to get to the convention. I'd rather not
sure.
smack someone upside the head with a 5-foot wingspan.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah. Oh man, Jennifer Heavy, these miniatures are awesome. And Michael, I don't know if you remember, I said that Gentleman also has the same printer, 3D printer as me,
Mm-hmm.
the Elegoo Mars. And so whenever you and I make it really, really big on our channel, or on my channel, or hell, if you make it really big, Gentle and Heavy, I expect you to do the same thing. That more or less I pledged that
Absolutely.
I would get I would get myself and him an Elegoo Jupiter. It's like a huge, big ass, it's a freaking huge 3D printer that weighs like a ton, or not a ton, but really, really heavy. That I would get one for him and get one for myself, so we could make bigger and more awesome models. But with that said, though, because you're doing miniatures, I think the Elegoo Mars is perfect for you. I
At the
mean, at the
moment, yeah,
moment, yeah,
it's it's perfect size. The only
yeah.
thing that it really can't do is vehicles, because you got to put them into what's the program? Uh, I'm blanking on the name of the 3D software.
Rhino,
The
Revit,
one that
Maya?
no, it's the one that
3ds
comes with
Max?
the Mars.
Oh, I don't know.
oh, oh, the one that goes with Mars. Oh shit, I know what you're talking about. I can't remember
Shetu
it right
box or
now.
something like that.
Chitu box. Yes, yes, yes.
Cheetah
Yep,
box.
yep,
Yes.
yeah.
Uh, I can't really figure out how to splice things in that. I don't think you can.
Mhm,
Uh, so I've been trying to just figure a way to splice things up, be able to put
mhm,
them in
mhm.
pieces. Haven't been able to figure
Right.
that out yet.
Yeah,
Working on
yeah.
progress on that.
Yeah, like for one of my bigger anime model prints, I break her apart in Blender. That's the only way I could do it.
Mm,
Yeah, I don't know how to do it in Cheeto Box. It's I don't think Cheeto Box does any separation. It doesn't do that.
mm,
Yeah.
fair enough.
But yeah,
Well,
no, this is cool, man. Hey, thank you again always for being on, just hanging out with us, and you give some really good advice, man. I really totally appreciate it, dude.
yeah, yeah, no problem.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I
And keep
I just love seeing the dream work.
yeah. And keep posting stuff, man. I love seeing your D&D character, and and let us know when you guys get your stream up and running, and we'll definitely tell the world that, what you guys are doing.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, we might try and go into the VTuber realm.
Nice.
We might try to stay in the flesh tuber realm. Just
Hmm,
depends on
hmm.
how things go.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah. I was actually having a conversation with Michael about the VTubing thing. I kind of dipped my toe into it a little bit and realized, holy cow, if I'm actually going to do more customization and control of the VTubing character of my model, there's a lot of stuff that I need to learn, and that has just felt really, really
Yes.
overwhelming. But I mean, that's not 100% true, because there are off-the-shelf models that you can get and as well as tweak to your liking, like the facial features and the clothes and everything, and it'll work right out the box. Right now, if I wanted to, I could show you guys the model that I'm currently using just for fun, but it's not me. It's not something
Yeah.
that I created, right? It's not your character. So therefore you would have to learn Blender, put it into Unity, face rig it, and then XYZ make it into a VRM model, and it's just like, oh my God, it's such a pain in the ass. But yeah, I totally get where you're coming from. Doing the VTuber is a very cool thing, and that's why I'm taking the time to actually do it, because it is a real thing. Everyone is doing it, and it's very, very, very cool.
Yeah. And like if anything, I might try and just rip a source filmmaker heavy. Put a top hat on them. Call it a day.
Mm, nice, 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 nice. Cool.
That that might just be the simplest way to go about it for what I'm trying to do.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, no, thanks again, gentlemen. And I want to see all the progress that you're making with all your prints, because yeah, I'm looking right now at some of your minis as well as your painting. Again, I was geeking out over all this stuff because, I myself, I like to 3D print stuff, and seeing another 3D printer in my channel, I'm just like, oh, that's so cool. So it was like me making a friend, the 3D printing
Yeah,
friend. We know the hardships that we go through in order to get something printed really fairly nicely, because it's not easy. It's hard, man.
there you go.
Yeah. Cool, man.
Oh, yeah,
And Michael, do you have any other questions for Gentleman Heavy?
No, it's really cool to see all this stuff though, especially because I'm nowhere near as versed as you guys in the sort of 3D printing and miniature models and stuff. So it's just fascinating to hear you guys talk shop about it. So it's fun to be a fly on the wall, but it's
Yeah,
really cool.
yeah, yeah.
and
That's cool.
and
But yes,
and because I'm moving, I'm not able to make too many models as of recent. But once I
mm,
get the shop set up again, I'm gonna be pumping out things left, right, and center. So
nice. Yeah.
be on the lookout for that.
That's awesome, man. Well, have a good move. Be safe, and protect your back when you move, because I'm not a professional mover, but Michael here has definitely helped me move. And packing, moving shit, it sucks. So definitely best of luck with that, as well as keep yourself safe. And yeah, man, and keep us updated, dude.
Very good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
enjoy the new digs. And thanks for
yeah,
being here again. We really
Yeah,
yeah.
appreciate
no
it.
problem.
Cool. Thanks, man.
Well,
We
have
will
yourselves
talk.
a lovely night.
Yeah, you too, dude. All right, we'll talk to
All
you
right,
later,
take it
man.
easy.
All right.
I'm not keeping shop, but peace.
All right. See you later. All right. This is interesting. So should we just stay in here, in the hearth, or go back to the bar, Michael?
I mean, eh, it doesn't really matter. I don't think. I mean,
Yeah.
I guess potentially anybody could jump jump in, but maybe that would just make it more interesting. But I
Yeah.
feel like we've already been running for like almost or 2 hours, so we're probably getting pretty close to wrapping up, right?
Yep. 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 But yeah, I don't see anyone else in here, who has posted in their art. King Cass. I know you post a lot of stuff from Herb, which is amazing. All this. Oh, you guys probably can't see it right now. All this amazing artwork. And sorry, Michael, I'm going to share my screen really quick.
Sure. Take your time.
Uh, back screen. There you go. Screen number 3. Boom. Ah, sweet. Um, yeah, Keencast posted a lot of stuff from Herb Master, and Herb Master, you're in here. Feel free to talk a little bit about it, but I don't think you're in here. If you are in here next time, we'll definitely talk about it. And Pirate Princess, she's actually doing some 3D art. Before she was actually doing sketches, but holy cow, that is pretty amazing. She's actually diving into 3D now. That's a huge
Yeah,
step up
it looks
from what
great.
she was doing, and it looks freaking awesome. Captain Blue Blue says, "Woohoo, VTube gang! You can be a PNG like me." Yeah, that's also another way to do it as well. But I kind of want to do the whole 3D thing, because the 3D aspect, you can like move your head and have facial expressions. It's very, very neat. It's very, very cool. Um, oh, that's right. Richard, aka your neighbor Totoro, he actually posted some of our old the podcasts that he did a long time ago. Like Michael and I was actually on his podcast, and he actually posted it somewhere. I don't remember. Was it in resources maybe?
I think it's in this gallery,
It's
but a little bit
gallery.
later.
little bit later maybe. But yeah, if you guys want to hear what Michael and I have to, what we talked about on his podcast, oh, this
Oh,
right
there
here,
it is.
the currency of sanity. Please go and check it out, and also not just our episode, but also the um, other stuff that he has done along with you, right, Michael?
Yep.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I was a
yeah.
co-host on the Currency of Sanity.
Oh, you were a co-host. Oh, I didn't know you were a co-host. I thought you were just like a reoccurring guest, which I guess if that makes sense now that you say it's a co-host.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, yeah, somewhere between co-host and reoccurring guest.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, definitely Richard's show, and I was helping him to produce it.
Yeah, that's very cool. So yeah, make sure you guys, if you guys have the time, and if you guys are interested in what we were talking about in 2020 during the whole pandemic, thing that happened, feel free to check that out there. And yeah, let me just go and take a look really quick. And June posted some amazing
Yeah,
artwork.
these are so
Uh,
cool.
of her digital and traditional painting. This one, my gosh, look at that. That is super beautiful.
Yeah.
She did it, she used oils on this canvas, and she has like a few cats. I don't remember the amount of cats that she has, but really amazing painter. She does one painting a day. It's kind of like how I was trying to do
Wow.
one tarot card a day. She also
hmm
does one painting a day. She streams it and it's very, very cool. I think this is a digital piece. Um, this is shoot, I forgot what's his name. Uh Moon Knight. Um
Oh yeah, I don't know his name. I know exactly who you're talking, who
oh
the actor is.
God, what's his name? No.
Oscar Isaacs.
Oscar Isaac. Oscar Isaac. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So that's him right there. Good job,
Yeah, that's
Michael. Sorry.
great.
Yeah, I'm so bad with names. And this is very much Salvador Dali um expressionism painting. I don't know what the real technical word is, but when I look at this, everything is melting, so therefore it has
I think
a
it's surrealist. Is that
surrealist. Is
Salvador
that what that?
Dali's? It's surrealist. I
Mm-mm.
been a long time since I did art history.
Yeah, I
But
did
yeah,
not like art history. Yeah. Um, and then we got another piece right here with the pirate princess. Yeah, she's totally doing. And I
yeah,
asked her
she's on it.
yeah, in my I replied to this. I asked her, it's like, oh, I'm curious if she's going down this VTuber route because this is very much looking like a VTuber model that I've been
hmm
kind of doing research on. And it's very, very cool. Very cool. And Zen, if you're still in here, Zen, he actually created some energy sword. I don't know if I could play
Yeah,
it.
this was awesome. As somebody who's played a
Yeah,
whole lot of Halo, I was really impressed. Like, wow, that's the freaking energy source.
yeah. And so this is exactly what I was talking about. Like you have to know Unity, you have to know Blender in order to get like customization set up uh, to get what you want as your VTuber character slash model. Because you could use it off the shelf, but if you don't know how to
Mhm.
use the program, then you're so limited in what you can do.
Sure.
But he knows exactly what to do. So this is freaking awesome, man. Good job, Zen. All right, let me go back. Yeah, yeah, he just posted some more of yeah, see, that is so cool. See, once you have like the control and power of the program, you could do whatever you want. It's so cool. And oh yeah, this King Cast. King Cast, are you in here? Let me know, man. Uh, and this is another image created by Zen in a generator. I don't know what generator is. Maybe it's like a 3D generator. But yeah, he created all these like really, really cool models, 2D models apparently, um, for
Oh,
his
is it like
YouTubing
a
thing.
is it one of those apps that like auto generates models or like VTuber models? I've seen those where you can like it's kind of like when you're playing a video game and it's like, "Oh, create your character," and you can
hmm
like
hmm
in Mass Effect, remember when you can customize the
Yeah,
way your character looks?
Yeah, yeah. There's a program called the VRoid Studio that allows you to download a character, and then you could play with the size of the eyes, the forehead, give it different,
Mm,
hair.
mhm.
That in itself, you could use that and then create your own avatar that way. But again, you can't have the energy sword if you just use that program. You would have to take that into Blender, take that model you downloaded, and then put it into Blender, add the energy sword, and then take that and then put it into the 3D program as well. So it's very very complicated. But yeah, it's either you can make it really simple or very complicated. And the way I like to do things, I like to, customize, and then that's super super complex. And oh yeah, we just got a bot. That's not great, but we're doing so well that we're getting spam. That's awesome. That's real. All right. But yeah, the again, thank you guys so much for posting stuff. This is all very very cool. Please continue to post, and we will share on our stream and have you guys talk about it. And also, Top Cat did an amazing piece right here. And I asked, like, I don't know if this is for his webtoons. I think it is, or maybe it's just an off piece as well. But yeah, he created some pretty amazing um, art because he has a webtoon that he posts that he draws for, and it's on there, and it's really 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 cool. I asked him to post the link in here, but I don't think he got that message yet. But next time he's in here, I definitely want him to share with all the stuff that he's been doing. Um, yeah, so like
Totally.
whenever Michael you start doing if we ever create like a story together and I illustrate it, that's exactly what I kind of want to do is to post our stuff onto that link that he's provided. It's like the webtoons.com or something. And then it's
Hmm.
just people who have that link can go and check out all the work. But
Cool.
yeah, this is
Yeah.
really cool. Thanks so much for posting this, Top Cat. Really appreciate it. Yeah, yeah, these are amazing sketches done by you guys. And everyone here is super creative. And yeah, I really appreciate it, you guys. Oh, wow. That's cool. Awesome. All right. So, Gentleman Heavy and Captain Blue Blue. I don't know if you guys have any questions for us. Oh, let me go ahead and can't stop streaming. Boom, right there. And yeah. Anything else, Michael? Do you have anything else you want to chat about?
Um, no, I don't think so. Yeah, I think that, I mean, uh, sorry I didn't have more to share this time, but we kind of already went into that. But hopefully next time I'll have some more. And really, I mean, I'm still even at this late stage putting the pieces together to make sure that I've got all the tools to actually build these like level prototypes. Um, so I'm gonna continue tinkering with that stuff and hopefully have some more interesting things to share with the level like 1, 2, or for scenes 1 and 2 next time. But yeah,
Yeah, and I will work on what we talked about. Just clean some stuff up, create that rail in Blender, and just make it as cool looking as possible, cinematic as possible, right? And
sure.
yeah, that's what I'll be doing. I can't think of anything else of what to say, anything off the top of my head. But Captain Boo Boo has the last question for tonight is what do I do when coffee isn't enough? Uh, what? Dang. Oh, you're still up, man. Ah, fight the good fight. Yeah. Keep at that paper. Get it. Um, well, for me, I just drink more coffee. I don't like to drink energy drinks because that's just pure sugar. And it's not great because I remember like when I was back in school, for finals, I drank like three Monster Energy drinks within like the 48-hour period, and man, that was not good for me. Like when I was trying to sleep, I felt my heart beating in my chest. It was just like, oh my gosh, this is not
Yeah.
good. So for me, I just continue to drink coffee and maybe drink a soda if if you need that extra boost. But definitely try to stay away from the Monster energy drinks because in the end, it definitely harms the body, especially the heart. Because yeah, it did not do good for me at all. How about you, Michael?
Well, so first, the one thing I'll say is I will second your sentiment about the Monster energy drinks or any kind of like uh of those sort of high caliber energy drinks. I've never had any of them before. I mean, I've tasted like a Red Bull before. I didn't really like the taste. Um, but I remember in one of my past lives, I worked with a lot of guys who, or I worked with one guy in particular who actually had kind of like turned his life around. He had been like way into like drugs and stuff, but he got his act together. And he described that like he used to drink energy drinks, but he stopped because he recognized that like he was like shaking and he could feel his heart pulsating, and he was like, I had to stop drinking those things because they literally gave me the same kind of effect as when I was on speed. I was like, holy shit, okay, that's intense. So he gave up energy drinks because he was like, this is doing something to my like nervous system that's not good, man. Like I gave that shit up. Like I can't do this. Um, you know, but I'm not a medical expert. I don't know what's in there or how they affect your body. But yeah, I can't imagine that it's uh, that it's good for your body's long-term health to be consuming a lot of energy drinks. Um, that said, pivoting, what do I do? I'm the worst person to ask about this because I don't drink coffee. I I don't know. I really I'm kind of lazy really, like if it's not working and I'm not getting through something, I go take a nap. And then when I get up, then I'll do the work because I usually feel pretty refreshed after that. That's not always an option. When
Yeah.
it's not, I try to power through.
Mm.
Exercise helps a lot if you can
Oh
get over the
yeah.
hurdle of like, ah, man, I don't want to exercise. It is clinically and scientifically proven to boost uh, so much more than your mood, but it also activates a lot of uh, what are called like neurotrophic growth factors in your brain. Actually, the exercise literally makes you smarter and more aware uh, of the things that you're doing. So you could do that too. Like, if you're having a hard time, I don't know, do some push-ups or something, do some squats, do some air
Yeah.
squats.
Sure. Sure.
Um, that helps me sometimes, but usually
Nice.
I'm pretty lazy and I'll just go to sleep,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
not good advice for this situation. I'm sorry.
Horizon Onward. Hey, Horizon, you're still here. Yeah. He said, been there, done that, and it's not good for you. I think he's talking about the Monster Energy drink. Gentleman Heavy says, drink the greatest energy supplement known to man. Gamer sups. Hashtag ad, not
Nice.
really. Onward says, yes. What's a gamer sups? Do you know what that is, Michael?
I don't know what that is.
Oh, okay.
I know there are some like gamer branded energy powders or drinks or something that
Uh-huh.
they sponsor a lot of prominent gamers. Like I think Angry Joe
Oh, yeah.
has a sponsor that's a Gamer Fuel or something like that. I don't know, or G Fuel. I can't remember,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
but maybe that's what it is. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Very cool. Well, yes, either drink more coffee or like what I said, or exercise from what Michael said. But I know it's pretty late for you, Captain Blue Blue, and yeah, keep at it, man. I know you're working on your paper, and you'll
Home
get there.
stretch.
Yeah, home stretch, man. Um, super happy for you. Horizon says it's a powder you add to water, and it's an energy booster.
Hmm.
Oh, cool,
There you go.
interesting. Hmm. Nice. It's like a powder that you put. Oh, Heavy is saying the same thing. It's like a powder that you put in the water that is better for you than you run out
Uh,
of the mill energy drinks. Got it. Got it. Cool. See, I'm learning stuff like this.
there you go.
Gamer stuff. I'll write this down. Gamer subs. Cool. All right, guys. We shall call it a night for this session. Thank you so much, Gentleman Heavy. Thank you so much, Horizon Onward, Captain Blue Blue. Am I missing anyone else? Zen, if you're still in here, thank you guys so much for being here and just hanging out with us. Just you know, following the progress of the game and just being here. It's I feel very very happy inside that you guys are still watching and that you're following along. So I hope you guys have a amazing Monday because today is Wednesday. Today is Sunday. Have a great start of the week. And Zen Horizon says Zen's here so playing Halo at the moment. Oh, that's cool. That's awesome.
Very
Uh,
appropriate. Good job.
yes, that is awesome. Tell him I said
Kill
hi.
those grunts.
Yeah. But yes, I will call it and have a great rest of the evening and I will hopefully see you guys soon on Wednesday. Our next stream is a Wednesday 7 p.m. And you can find me on Twitch/TV at Lead Design Studios. And Michael, where can they find you?
I also have a Twitch channel that isn't up and running yet, but I'm getting a lot closer to having some programming that I'll start streaming soon. In the meantime, though, I also have a book available on Amazon if you want to check out Blockbuster Blueprint. It is a book about storytelling and how best-selling blockbuster stories work. So that's a good way to support me too. And yeah, other than that, you can catch me here every Wednesday and Sunday at the same time, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard, working on this Creative Tavern project with Chris.
Yeah, and I went ahead and posted Michael's social links and as well as my links too. So give us a follow wherever it's appropriate, and I will see you. We will both see you guys next Wednesday. All right, bye guys. Thank you so much for being here. You guys are awesome and amazing. All right, say
Thanks,
hi, guys.
everybody. See you next
Yep.
time.
See ya. Bye. Oh, shoot. All right. We're still here. We're still here. Um, I want to raid. I want to raid. Let's
Oh,
raid.
yeah. Good
Yeah.
job remembering
I always forget. Um,
that we can raid
yeah,
people.
yeah. Let me see who we can raid on my list. I want to raid. Ooh, Marie is here. Marie is an artist. She is very, very talented. Let me click on her name. All right. Hopefully this works because last time this did not work.
Oh, that's right. I
Raid.
remember that it was this big pain in the butt.
Yeah. All right. Good night, Horizon. I see you. I see you. Good night, everyone. I hope everyone has a good night. Yeah. You too,
Good
man.
night, everybody.
We are rating. This channel is intended for mature audiences. Wait, why is it? Oh, okay. Here it is. Yay. And raid now. We are rating.
Oh, wow. Cool artwork.